Hey there friends, and welcome to day 10 of our 12 Days of Christmas in July tutorial series here on my channel. If you're just joining in, you can find links for the first 9 days at the top of the description so you can get caught up. And if you're new around here, I hope you will consider hitting the subscribe button to join our crafty little family. Today we're creating a fun and easy to make easel card utilizing cut-aparts. And if that sounds good to you, then stick with me and we'll make it together. Before we get going, just a quick reminder to watch out for the question of the day. Now let's get started. For today's project, we're working with this Christmas market collection. It's from Cartabella. I've got the 6x6 paper pad along with the 12x12 collection pack, and that's where we're going to get those beautiful cut-apart images from the journal cards. And so I know you're thinking to yourself, Ginny, that looks so much like the collection that you used yesterday, and you would be absolutely correct. So here's that Lumberjack Christmas, and remember we use that to make our envelope mini album. And I've also brought the Christmas delivery collection down. This is also from Cartabella, and you will notice over the several collections that I'm sharing here, they have a very similar color palette, and they will also very likely have a very similar design style. So these are fairly traditional. I think the reds and the greens are a little bit on the warmer side. They've got geometrics and very traditional cut apart images. And so as I'm working through my collections, when I get down to having a few sheets in each, I am going to have no problem combining these. I'm going to bring these together so that I have enough quantity if I want to make, for instance, a mini album or a larger project. Because they're all so very compatible, I think you can combine them and they will work very nicely. So unless you are working, for instance, as a design team for a brand and you're promoting a specific collection, they would probably encourage you to stay within that collection for your project. But otherwise, there are no rules. And if there were rules, you should definitely break them, because in my opinion, the only rule you should follow is to make something you love that makes you happy. So if it makes you happy to get through all of those collections and make room for new ones, and that is what you should do. I've also got my other collections that we worked with this week: the Perfect Christmas, My Favorite Christmas, and I Love Christmas. You'll notice the same thing will work with these because they have a little bit more of a vibrant color palette. It's just a little bit brighter and the images are a little bit more whimsical, but you can definitely see some things that will work through each of these collections, like a black background or a red plaid or a large floral. And so you know that you can bring all of these together and they'll work perfectly as one project, and that way you can get through more of your collections. And so that leads me into our question of the day. From all the beautiful new collections that have recently been released, which one are you most considering adding to your stash? Assuming you've worked through these and you've made room. For me, I say I really love the Mix and a Mingle collection from Simple Stories and the Magic of Winter from Echo Park, because we live in Michigan and we have quite a long winter season that extends beyond the holidays. So that collection would be a little bit more versatile for me because I don't have to consider it just for Christmas. So let me know in the comments which collection you are considering adding to your stash. Now for our project, I've got a sheet of cardstock here. This is 65 pound weight. It is 6 inches high by 17 inches wide. It's scored at 6 and also 12. And so I'm going to get a 6x6 finished card, and the flap for the easel portion is going to be 5x6. So let's go ahead and finish that inside first. Here is the pattern paper from that collection, and I have my cardstock cut for this piece to be 5 7/8 by 4 7/8. The pattern paper is 5 3/4 by 4 3/4, and we're just going to add that to our card base, and we're going to get the beautiful borders of the cardstock as well as the base. And then I've got the middle, which is going to be inside the card when it's folded. This is 5 7/8 by 5 7/8 for that cardstock, and the pattern paper is 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. So I'm just going to center that on the next portion up, and this will be the inside, you'll want to come back in and add a portion for a sentiment to be added. So let's go ahead and work on the front cover. It's the same measurements, obviously, as the inside. So we'll just finish that off the same as that previous piece. But for this, I want to add a layering pattern. So this is 2 3/4 inches high by 5 3/4 inches wide, so that I can use the border that is already there. I've also just put a little strip of that black cardstock behind so that I could help to keep those busier paper patterns separate. So next I'm going to bring in this die cut doily, and this helps to neutralize those busy backgrounds and also helps to kind of brighten it up a little. I'm going to add this in the middle, right to left, but fairly close to the bottom of the card so that we can leave room for our flower arrangement. So the next thing I've got is the image, which is going to be our focal image, and I wanted to create a special raised frame area. So I took my nested Sizzix star die. I cut the largest die from the 6x6 paper pattern, so it would be a little bit more condensed, and then I skipped the next one down and went for the next one after that, so that I would have a nice generous amount of that frame showing. And I popped that up with the dimensional foam tape. So I'm just going to pull the backing off now, and I've also got an image from one of the 3x4 cut aparts. And so this obviously wasn't wide enough for the whole star, but it is wide enough that the center cutout will cover it nicely. And I've put this on the back of one of those placemats so that I would have a non-stick surface. Then I'm just going to flip this over and position this onto the image so that I've got that beautiful red barn centered as best I can, and have all of the space that is cut out from that center star is filled with the background from the journal cut apart. And I've also put some double-sided tape on here so that I can join it to another of those stars. This is the same as the large die cut, but I just used a black cardstock so that I could kind of sandwich those layers in. So I'll just pick this up and get it positioned over top so that I can get it adhered exactly. And I can add this to my card front as kind of a dimensional frame focal image. I'm just going to go right in the center of that doily so that it fills in that space nicely. Here is the flower arrangement that I created, and this is a large flower from Little Birdie Crafts. I've combined them with some white lotus flowers. These came from a really reasonable ribbon, and I have a tutorial on these flowers a few videos back, and if I can find it, I'm gonna link it for you. But I just combined it with some holly and some netting and twine, and for my ribbon, I chose a Swiss dot on a black background, as I thought that was going to anchor that flower arrangement nicely and also help to fill in that corner. I'm just going as high as I can while keeping all of those fragile bits on the inside. So I've got a couple of additional items. Obviously, we need some charms here. So these are just some little trees, and I'll position these right up here on the top, as I do, with a little hot glue. Cover those cut strings with a vintage button. Also got quite a large sentiment for this card, and this came as part of one of the 4x6 cut aparts, and I just clipped this off so that I would have these beautiful sentiment in the middle, so you can see how this would have been arranged when it was the full card. I wanted to use this as a sentiment, and I also wanted to use this as the portion of the base that would hold up our easel card. So I've just got this piece remaining, and I can maybe die cut that with a banner shape so that I can use it for another project. But I want to have this sentiment stretching all the way across the base here. This is very chunky, large sentiment. I wound up putting this on a layer of 110-pound cardstock just so that it would be well supportive. There is foam tape on the outside, so once it stretches across that star, it will still be at the same level. And I did add a little bit of double-sided tape to the center so that it would stick down to the star as well. Have this stretch the entire width, and so I have this cut to be 5 3/4 inches wide so that I could utilize the border for the background pattern, and that will go right there. So as I mentioned, this is going to be the portion that supports the easel portion onto the base. So let's get back to that base, and I'm gonna just bring this in a little bit so that it is at the right distance to support the card. I cut a couple of layers of the black cardstock and white cardstock as well because I thought that double layer of the border would coordinate much better with the double layers of border on the card front. So we'll just use some dimensional tape on this as well, and then adhere this. I'm going to pull it a little closer so I can see over top, and it's not right along the bottom. We've got it up a little bit, and now this will support the card when it's fully open. So I think I want to include a couple of sequins here as well. So let's fold our center back in and add some with our tombow. So that's all for our easel card for day 10 of our 12 days of Christmas in July series. Don't forget to come back tomorrow for day 11. I really hope you will consider taking that advice about mixing and matching and combining your collections so that you can work through them and make space for new collections to come in. If you enjoyed this tutorial, remember to comment, like, and subscribe. You can find links to the products I mentioned as well as for our socials in the description below. And as always, I'm wishing you a happy and productive day, and I thank you so much for watching. Bye.